Now, here's a question every tip-based business owner needs to hear right now. Did your payroll company mistakenly cause you to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in FICA taxes when you shouldn't have? I know it sounds like a bold claim, but stick with me for the next few minutes because what I'm about to show you is a federal tax credit that's been sitting inside the U.S. tax code for decades. And according to the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago, more than $11 billion in these credits go unclaimed every single year. Most business owners have never heard of it, and the ones who have usually assume their CPA or payroll company already handled it. Spoiler alert, they almost certainly did not. Now, I'm going to break down exactly what this credit is, who qualifies for it, why it gets missed, and how you can recover not just this year, but 4 years worth. This is the FICA Tips Tax Credit, and by the end of this video, you'll know whether you've been leaving a small fortune on the table. So what exactly is the FICA Tips Tax Credit? Well, every time one of your employees earns a tip, you, the employer, are required to pay your share of payroll taxes on that tip income. That's a 6.2% for Social Security, and it adds up fast when you've got a full floor of servers or a busy salon team. Now, here's what most people don't know. The federal government actually created a credit written directly into the tax code that allows eligible employers to recover a significant portion of those payroll taxes. It is not a loophole. It is not aggressive tax planning. It is literally a line in the U.S. tax code placed there specifically for tip-based businesses. This credit applies to the employer's share of Social Security taxes on tips that push employees above the federal minimum wage. The outcome? A real dollar-for-dollar refund, a carry forward to reduce future taxes, or both. Now here's the part that should stop you cold. It is estimated that 80 to 90% of small businesses in the food, beverage, beauty, and personal care industries where tipping is customary never claim this credit. Now, here's the question I get asked most often. But my CPA is great. Wouldn't they have already filed this for me? Now, I want to be fair to CPAs. They work incredibly hard, but there are a few reasons this credit gets overlooked, and I want to be honest with you about all of them. Now, first, tax season is brutal. Your CPA is managing hundreds or more of clients, all with hard deadlines. The FICA tip tax credit requires additional documentation and a separate filing process. Many CPAs with all the time pressure of April 15th kick that can down the road or aren't even aware it exists. Now here's how you can tell if your CPA did file. Did they mention this credit by name? Did your tax prep cost jump noticeably in a year they said they were filing something extra? If not, the odds are it wasn't filed at all. Now second, there's a quiet professional problem here. See, filing the FICA Tips tax credit for prior years means essentially admitting that the money wasn't recovered when it should have been. Some CPAs simply avoid opening that door. And third, and this one surprises people, most payroll service providers will not reduce your FICA tax liability for this credit. They cite liability concerns. So even if you use a major payroll platform, the credit is almost certainly not being applied on your behalf. We know this because we've contacted most of them. Think about it this way. If your CPA found you an extra $100,000 or $200,000 in recoverable money, you would have heard about it. I can promise you that. That's the kind of win people talk about. That's how CPAs get referrals. If you don't remember that conversation happening, it likely never did. Now, here's what makes this credit especially powerful right now. You can recover the current year and 3 years prior to that. That's potentially 4 years of unclaimed federal tax credits or refunds, all recoverable through amended returns. For a mid-sized restaurant or multi-chair salon, that can easily reach 6 figures. Now, who qualifies? Well, if you have 10 or more W-2 employees who receive tips as part of their compensation, and your business is in food and beverage or beauty and personal care like salons, barbershops, or spas, you most likely qualify. Now, here's the bottom line on whether you qualify. If your employees report tips on their paychecks and you've been paying your share of payroll taxes on those tips, the credit is almost certainly available to you. Now, if you want to know exactly how much you could recover, there's a financial calculator available at FICA-TIPS-TAX-CREDITS.com. In less than 30 seconds, you can see your real number. No guessing required. Now look, margins in the restaurant and service industry are tight. Costs are up, and most owners grind out every day just to stay ahead. The FICA Tips Tax Credit doesn't change how you operate. It doesn't require you to add a new expense or change your payroll. It recovers money that belongs to you from taxes you already paid. The median refund for businesses that go through this recovering process with us is over $101,000. And the process is no risk. If nothing is found, you pay nothing. Now, here's what I want you to take away from this video. The FICA tip credit is a legitimate federal tax credit, not a loophole and not a deduction. You could recover the current year as a credit plus the last 3 years as a refund. 80 to 90% of eligible businesses never claim it. So if you don't take advantage of it, you're letting money slip through your fingers. Can you really trust the CPA who knew nothing about these credits before to suddenly be the one to recover all that is due you? It's time to find a specialist. This is found money. It's already yours. The only question is whether you do nothing, use someone who has no experience, or use a nationally respected agency. So go run the calculator to see just how much money is at stake. Visit FICA-TIPS-TAX-CREDITS.com. The link is below in the description. Thanks for watching.